Erin Chaparro. This is my amazing husband, Jeremy Hall. And we got married in 1994. Oh no, we did. We met in 1994 and we got married in 04.
We're both originally from California. California is a very diverse state. So I'm from the North Bay and Erin's from south of LA in Orange County. And so the farm life was something I was used to, whereas Erin had no experience with any of that.
Used to. Still not used to, I think. It came out of Jeremy's parents saying, this property is 15 acres and it's kind of a lot for us, and they were into their 80s. And so managing a property like this just was, it takes a lot of effort even for us. Some of us in our mid-40s and some of us later, it takes a lot of work to run a property of 15 acres with farm animals and fruit and now a business.
We wanted to see if we could keep the farm in the family. So we decided we'd be the ones to do it.
We decided that we would move down here eventually and start this process in 2016. And so that's when you started planting pear trees here.
In 2017.
2017, okay,
Yeah.
So it was like 2016 something. So in 2016 is when we decided that we were gonna start a cidery.
That's right.
So just because Jeremy's parents lived here, we were coming down to the property multiple times a year for holidays and whatnot, and birthday celebrations, and then tree planting. So the orchard was here for a good 3 years before we even moved onto the property. And then, the world got turned upside down in March 2020, but we were already on target to actually put our house up for sale in April 2020 in Eugene. So that's what we did.
Jeremy and I are going to be leaving our Eugene lives, but not our Eugene community, just leaving our Eugene lives and moving into the farm in the Applegate Valley come this spring, early summer, because then we can start planning for the tasting room, for farm events, for workshops. And so we have a lot of plans in the future for the exciting things that are going to come out of Blossom Barn Cidery and the Hall family farm.
There was a lot of challenges with getting building materials during that time, and then also finding contractors and people to work. So we really didn't start construction until 2021. Jeremy was a landscape contractor in Eugene and had a business there. So we have a lot of skills.
Yeah. Yeah, there are some things that translate well, and the idea of growing fruit on this piece of ground was, it's an easy thing to imagine. Obviously a lot of work to do, but really rewarding, exciting work of transforming a property into a pear orchard. We wanted to have a farm-based business, so we wanted to invite people to this property and make it feel like you were visiting your friend's family farm. It was kind of the idea that was the seed of it all. But we had been making cider commercially starting in 2018. So every October on farm, we use pears. Starting in 2019, we started using our own fruit as well, but bringing pears to the farm.
From Medford. So
juicing them. And then doing ferments. Hey y'all, I am down on the farm in the Applegate Valley, and we had a big day yesterday juicing pears. We got over 1,000 gallons of pear juice. That will be our perry. It's in the tank, it's getting inoculated this morning, and then we're on our way, initial fermentation.
The process of making pears into cider fundamentally hasn't changed all that much.
Yeah.
It's just the volume has changed.
Right. Because the very first year we did juice here on the property, it really was just you, me, your dad, and then the mobile juicer that we had come in, Northwest Juicing.
Northwest Mobile Juicing.
Ryle had brought a helper, and so it was just Ryle and his helper, and then the three of us.
But yeah, that first year we pressed 8 tons.
That was a lot.
And since then we've done between 25 and 50 tons, depending on the year. It was good for us to do a small kind of trial. By the time that we moved down here, we had cultivated enough of a market in the Eugene and Portland area based on on our work doing sales that we
Mostly Jeremy driving around to I-5 and going up to Portland and driving around all day.
Yeah, but we had cultivated enough of a market by the time that we moved down here that we were ready to hand that off to distribution. But it took us doing that heavy lifting that a distributor would be interested in us at all.
The building construction was completed in basically October of Halloween of 2022.
This is Erin and Jeremy from Blossom Barn Cidery, and we are here in the tasting room having our very first tasting ever, and we wanted to share it with you.
And then we had a neighborhood open house just for free and for fun to invite all the neighbors in the immediate area here to come and check it out, and they've all been watching it be built, and so we wanted everyone to come see it. So that was Halloween weekend. We felt it was the right way to do it so that we eased into it and then could figure out what worked, what didn't work, and what we still needed to learn or equipment we needed. And then we did our grand opening, like official grand opening, where we put it in the paper, we advertised it on social media, and we had 500 people here for our grand opening. We had people lined out the door, standing in line for cider. We hadn't hired any help to help us for the grand opening, so it was just Jeremy and I doing both soup and cider. And then Jeremy's dad was out doing the parking lot, helping people find parking. People were parking on the street. It was up in the fields. And I will say that, part of our goal in having people here at the farm is, yes, for people to feel comfortable, but also just it's really peaceful here. And I think in our lives, in our day-to-day, we're just bombarded with sounds all the time that are outside of our control. And so we have a lot of people that actually come here and just will sit on the patio, and we won't have the music on or anything on the patio. And people say it's just so peaceful. And that's really what we want people to feel when they come here. We want to provide a space where people can just relax, sip some cider, enjoy that, but part of it is just like enjoy the nature that's right here.